Yes, yeah, sure. Some people have to join back. That's fine. All right, cool. I take that again. Go back. Please draw my attention if you want to ask a question. Just interrupt me if you want to ask a question. I'll do that. So I'll take it back again. So that I said so far you have been building websites, right? And the website is just interconnected web pages. Several web pages combined together becomes a website, and it's located on a domain. Does that make sense? And you access it over the internet using your web browser. A website is a list of web pages on a particular domain. So google.com is a domain. Afolabi.com is a domain. Facebook.com is a domain. Facebook.org is a domain that you access over the internet through a web browser. You know, web browsers, Google Chrome, Safari, whatever, the list goes on and on and on. And there are several reasons. Now, a typical website is a list of web pages together. So web page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, all combined together. But then I quickly mentioned that a web page, a single web page has three things. Basically, it's made up of what? HTML, CSS, and JS. And I said the HTML is what? Hypertext markup language. CSS is cascading style sheet. And JS is what? JavaScript. Good. Now, the HTML manages the structure of the website. So how the things are arranged, the positions of the things, whether it's arranged in tabular order, whatever it is, the structure and the skeleton of the website is done by the HTML. So far, you have been working on the HTML of the page. Are we all good? So far, what is left is what? The CSS and what? The JavaScript. Now, the CSS controls the beauty of the page, the styling, how the page looks like, if the font is smaller, if the color is blue, if the color is red, if the background is yellow. That is done by the CSS. And the behavior of the page, the actions happening on the website, the clicks, and all those things are managed by what? The JavaScript. Are we on the same page? Before we start coding quickly. So that's it. That's all you need to know basically about website before you start doing anything. Makes sense, right? Right. Very good. Any question? There are no question, right? Start looking into the events and the action of the day. All right. Okay. No questions. Good. Let's go on then. Then I'll head on straight here. Now, as part of your curriculum, when you are done with this module, you are expected to be able to build a website that looks like this. I hope we can all see it.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Even if you say you can't see it, cry, you will still have to build it. So, all right. So, at the end of the day, we are expected to build a website that looks like this. That's the goal. So, all the training at the end of the day, you should be able to build a website. We said a website is just a list of interconnected web pages. So, bingo. Let's zoom into how do we try to achieve something like this, and we'll try and put everything you have learned together into perspective here. If there are no questions, good. So far, we've been saying that if you're using Visual Studio Code, it will make sense for you to what? Create a folder. So I'm creating a folder. I'm calling it. So I'm calling it Tech
Yeah,
Nomad
are you
Codes. Are you with me? So far, if you are using
yeah,
Visual Studio Code, we say
hello?
that you create what? You create a folder or wherever you create it, but there must be a folder that you keep all your documents in it. Does that make sense? All right.
Yeah, right,
So I'll keep all
hello.
my
I'm
documents in
here.
the folder. Stop me if you have any question. I'll keep my, I have a document where, oh, yes, please. Anyone want to ask a question?
Yes. The folder, are you creating it in the Visual Studio folder,
You
or
can,
you
you
are
can,
creating
you
it?
can create, you can create it elsewhere, or you don't have to create it inside in the using the Visual Studio Code. You
So
can create it.
if I create it elsewhere, how do I connect? Like,
So in your
let's
Visual
say
Studio
slide.
Code, you open it in your Visual Studio Code. Make sense?
Yes.
So I'll now open my Visual Studio Code. You have my Visual Studio Code, right?
Mhm.
You can see my studio code, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say
Yeah.
open. I'll now say open, and I'll look for that folder, okay, which is called Tech Nomads. Are you with me? It's inside document. It's called Tech Nomads. Then I'll open it from here. Any questions so far? I have to say I trust that folder. That's all. Any question? So you see from here, you now have the folder name at the top here. The folder, the name of the folder will
Okay.
be here. Make sense?
Mr. Brian, can you come again on
All
that,
right.
please?
So I would usually what I'll do is that I'll create a folder, all right, where I want to work, and my folder is called Tech Nomads. Are you with me? Let's go over it again. You today there you can't miss today. If you have gone fast, so you can't miss today. So I'll create a folder wherever I want to work, and I'm calling it what? Tech Nomads, right? Are you with me? You create a folder and we'll call it Tech Nomad, and I'm going to
Yes.
say docs or whatever I'm calling it, right? Somebody's asking, do I create this? Yeah, Mr. Ntako, you can ask your question. Somebody's asking whether I should do a VS Code or not. Do it in a VS Code, or you can do it anywhere else, right? So I'm creating it here. I'm calling it Technomass Docs. That's what I'm calling it. Yeah, Mr. Ntako, come.
Yeah, please can our colleagues Millie and Mike? I think there are feedbacks coming from their background. It's distracting them.
I can no worries. Where is he?
Then it's free.
Make a viewer. Yeah, Mr. Darwin, if you are not talking, please let's mute your mic if you are not talking so that the rest
Then
can
Eben.
concentrate. All right, cool. Thank you.
Brian, I want to say that if you can zoom your this in small so that we
Oh,
can
sure.
see clearly what you are typing.
Oh, okay, cool. That's fine. So I've created a folder. I'm calling it Tech Nomads. It's just a name, all right? So feel free to call it whatever. I've created a folder. I'm calling it what? Tech Nomads, okay? I'm just going over how we start a project. Everybody with us? Mr. Fred, good now.
Yeah.
So now,
Yes. We are with you.
I will now open my Visual Studio Code. Are you with me? And I'll go and open that folder by clicking open, or you can go to file and say open. All right. Any of them should work. Does that make sense? You can click open here, or you go to file and say open. I'll go to file, I go open. I look for the folder I just created. It's called Tech Nomads. All right. I'll open it. And I am inside this way. Okay. Then I have to say I trust the author. That's all. Are you with me? So you see my top here, I'll have that the name of that folder here. Does that make sense here? Can you all see it? Good.
Yes. Right, please. The one I created, me, I can't
You
find
have
it.
to look for it. And let them you create another one because you have to know where it is. If not, you'll be looking around. Create it, create
Bright,
a
please,
folder.
can you create the folder in the Visual Studio Code?
You can create it here as well, no problem. But
I think to be on the safer side, you can create on your desktop the folder on your desktop
so that
and
you can
name it.
always see it. Desktop or documents, one of them is better.
Yes.
Mm. So this is my main folder, right? It means that I'm going to keep the things inside here, right? Now, if I want to create a file, so you see, if I hover over the name, if I hover over the name, some things come up here. You can see them, right? This one is for new file. This one is for new folder. So assuming you want to create another folder in that folder, you can click this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. But I want to create a file. So I'll click on the file. Are you with me? File. And how, so far by convention, how do you name your first file? We call it index, right? And
Yes, index.
yes, index. But
Index dot.
the extension should be HTML, right?
Right, please, relax. Relax,
Okay, we have relaxed now. So our first file is usually called index.html, and it should be in that folder. So and then so I'll say index, and I'll type dot what HTML. The extension is what HTML. You know, every file has an extension. The extension,
Yes.
this one is called dot what HTML. That's how I go about it. Then I'll hit what enter on my keyboard, right?
If someone's mic is on, can the person mute?
Yes, please. If you want to ask a question, you unmute and then ask if you are done. Please just remember. If not, you expose yourself for you because the exchange rate is not good. So
Right,
you expose your
right. Please, when you create the folder on your desktop, when you come back to your Visual Studio Code, how do you locate the folder that you created?
I know it's not. See, I'll go through that again. It's not compulsory to create it in the desktop. Just remember where you create it. Me, I created my own in document. Okay. You see, my own is in document. So in your Visual Studio Code, when you say open, when you click the open, okay, when you click the open, you need to look for it. You need to look for it. See, I can go to desktop or document. So you need to look for it where it's located. Make sense?
All right, sure.
Yeah. So we have created a file inside core index. So if I go into my folder, my file, you see that I have index.html here. Can you see it? All right. Now, so far we have agreed that a basic HTML structure should look like this. Any questions so far?
Right. Please.
Yes.
How did you create the file? If I went off site or I came in.
No, you see, you have opened your folder, right? You just click this.
Yes,
See, you click this. This is new file here. New file.
Yeah, it's not my it's not my booking.
Oh, are you in your VS Code?
Yes,
Yeah, you see this.
I
You
am.
hover over this. You see, this is Tech Nomads. If you hover over this, you see new file. This one. The next one is new folder. Use new file one. Then you click on it. Yes, Mr. Gordon.
But good evening.
Yes, please.
Yes, just a quick one. Just want to understand something. If is it possible to have two folders open at the same time, or you always have to work on one folder at a time?
You can open plenty folders at the same time, but you confuse yourself. That's all.
Okay, like no, I mean in VS Code, right?
And you can't do that, but you confuse yourself at the end of the day. Then the question is, which one will you be focusing on? So you can do that, but you end up confusing yourself.
Okay.
So concentrate on one at a time, if you ask me.
No, the reason because my other assignment was still open, so I was trying to open this new page,
yes,
this new folder that we are working on, but I was finding difficulty, so I had to close everything before I could just
that's right. Yeah, so that you can focus. If not, you'll be confusing yourself if you don't.
Yeah.
So advice to, of course, if you are a senior programmer, you can multitask, you can move around easily. So that will be easier. So index is the first page I want to create. And I do that by clicking this thing here. See, this is my folder. This is the folder called Tech Nomads. Okay, you can see it, right? See, if it's in this state, you need to click on this arrow to open it down this way. If it's this way, it means it's closed. If it's this way, it means it's open. Okay. And then once it's open in this state, you can click on this. So you see, I've created a file this way. I can create another file. You can create all the files you want to create for all you know. All right. So you create one. When you click on that file, then that file will be the active file you are working on at the moment. All right. Now, so far, you will see that your basic web thing, the basic web document looks like this. You can type this by saying doc type and all that, and all. You can go out. You have that code already, but just concentrate on me showing you this for now. So your basic website looks like this so far. And then, so you have a header element, you have a body element, and all of them is wrapped up in what? Your HTML. Make sense? And then you have your title element. You have seen that so far. And this is the title of that particular page. So we have the page here, and the title of the page is this place. Whatever the title is used will be what it will be displayed. So this is the structure of a basic page. Any question about the structure of a basic page so far? This doesn't change. You can copy and paste this if you create a new document. That is fine. So for instance, if I have created another document here and I call it contacts.html, which is a new document. Remember, this is a new document. The HTML is the one that has this, right? And the contacts is the other one that doesn't have anything. I can literally copy this over and go and paste it there if I want to do a new document. Does that make sense? So this is a repetition of content. No problem. This is the basic structure of every page. Does that make sense? I only need the index right now. So I will delete the contact one. I don't need that. I'll remove it. All right. Now, assuming that, let me pull this out so that I can show you this properly. Sorry, let me set up this properly here. So this is sorry. So assuming that we want to do something like this, okay? At least you start doing it. So far, in your learning so far, what you have been learning so far, if you need to build a website that looks like this, how would you attempt it? I need somebody to explain. Which of the tags will you use? You have learned about tags already. Which of the tags will you use? No CSS, just the structure. Which of the tags will you use in your experience so far? Just raise your hand and just tell us. If you, so far, all the tags you have learned, if you want to build something like that, what will you do? How will you go about it?
Something like what?
You have my screen, right?
It's showing your code.
Does anyone else, can you see my screen, my page?
Yes,
It's
yes,
just
we can.
displaying your code. That's the
Is it a
index
VS Code?
HTML.
I'm coming. Why does my... Can you see the website I'm displaying?
Yes, you can see the
Yeah.
website now.
Okay, cool. If you want to attempt to build something like this, you all up, how will you start? What will you use to start it, at least from the tags you have learned so far?
The H tag.
Which one will you use the H tag for? Yes. Where will you use the H tag? Which of them?
Let me see. The body.
When you say the mention, you can see the text. Mention the text specifically you use the H tag for, so that we can see.
So can I answer?
That's a one loop.
Yes.
The H1 for one loop logistics.
I think the H1 tag will be used to create the one loop logistic in an international fleet forwarding specialist.
Very
and also
good.
the H6 tag. H6 tags we used to create the last bit part. I'm not seeing very clearly here.
Yes, the
but
text
the one
and
just
dash, right? The
The
text
text
under here,
under it,
right?
yes.
All right, good.
Yes. And the image tag will be used to create the image at the background
All
of
right,
it.
cool. So let's start solving the problem one by one. So that's how we build a website, right? You have an image in mind. Are you with me? You have an image in mind, okay, of how you want it to look like. So you start from there. Does everyone get it?
Yes.
You have a structure in mind. You start by building it in blocks. So one says that the H1. So let's go. But there's also a since 2017 at the top. So let's say that one, maybe we can use H3 or H4, right? Let's start from there, right? We'll add the rest small. So we'll come to our body, right? Let's say there's something at the top that says since what 2017, okay? And then we all agree that we are going to use the H1 for what? The what? One Loop Logistics is an international freight forwarding specialist, right? Are you with me? Are you with me?
Sure.
Check the spelling of the international.
All right, sure. Yeah, okay. Specialist, freight forwarding specialist. Yes, cool. So we have first attempt, right? So we've started now. If you go like it's been mentioned to you so far already. If you need to view what you have done, you can just right click and see what open in what your browser, right? Good. So I'm going to open this in my browser. What do I see? Can you see what's on my screen?
Yeah.
Good. So this is where we want to get to, right? But we are attempting it small. What have we done now? We've been able to add the big text, right? Good. Step one. What else? Somebody said we can the text at the bottom, we should do what? We should use what? Some of a smaller H tag, right?
H4.
H4.
That's the H6. H6.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. I mean, on your own, I'll leave it to you to decide finality what you want to do. But at least we know that it's a smaller version of the H, right? It says we are dedicated for the marine industry since 2017. We are dedicated for the marine since 2017, and its headquarters in Singapore. Yep. So we've made some progress again by adding an H6. Let's go to our website, refresh our page. We have it down here, right? Okay, at least we've added the 3. Everyone with us so far? That's how you build websites incrementally. Now you go back to the page again. What else can we solve? But then again, if you see here, you see that the heading is in one line. But if you look at the one here, it's broken into 2, right? It is broken on the is part. How do we break a text into 2? Anybody who can help? This text is broken into 2 lines. If you let me zoom it again, you can see it's broken into 2 lines, but ours is in 1 line. How do we break it into 2?
So we'll use the breaking tag.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, my man. We use the breaking tag and break it on the is, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And then what is the special property about the breaking tag do you want to mention to us? It's a self-closing tag, right? Can you explain self-closing tag to anybody in the class, maybe who hasn't heard that before? When we say a tag is self-closing, what do we mean? Remember, AC is the open here, the closing is here. But for BR, we didn't need to close it. Who can explain that behavior to anybody here? And if we go back to our code, we check, you see that we are broken it into two now. So yes, it has achieved the result. But can you explain that phenomenon, that behavior to anyone? There are some tags that we call what? Self-closing tags. You don't need to close them when you open them. And break tag is one of them. As I answer the question, do you get that?
So I think it's a self-breaking tag because a self-closing tag because you don't need to actually close it. When you actually break a particular paragraph or sentence, you don't need extra code to make it seem like it's a continuous paragraph. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Well, fundamentally, yes. It just means that a self-closing, you don't need to do any other thing to it for it to do the work. Or it actually doesn't take any content, so there's no need to add anything extra to it. They don't take content, so they are okay. You see the rest of these tags, you have to put something inside for them to know the content. But self-breaking tags, for instance, doesn't need any content, so it's self-closing. It doesn't need anything. Somebody might be asking, yes, you can add a / here as well, but it's the same. Whether I add this or not, it will still work fine. Does that make sense to anybody? You either bring this or you don't bring it, it will work fine. All right? Good. Any question? Are all these tags familiar to you? All right, what next? If you look at our document, what else can we solve? What else can you solve with the skill you have acquired so far?
There's an image at the background.
At the background, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So as at this moment we can add an image. All right. We'll come back to that. But the top, nobody's talking about the top side. Are we scared of the top?
Yes. There's other text at the top there.
There's an image. This is the company's logo, so it's an image. Are you with me?
Okay.
It's One Loop Logistics. It's the company logo. Are you with me? So if you are building a website for somebody, you just ask for what? Their logo, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then you put their logo there. Are we on the same page? So for the sake of today, because we don't have that logo right now, we'll just use any logo we have. I'm just going to pull off any logo on the internet so that we can go and continue building what we want to build. I'm going to get a Google logo because it kind of looks like them in a way. So I'm just going to go for that. Any question? So I'm just going for a particular logo so that we can use. Okay. So I'm going to save this. Make sense? Where do I need to save it, please? Anybody can explain?
You need to save it in a folder that you are working on, the
Very
folder that
good.
is open.
Very, 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 very good. It has to be in that folder, and the folder is what? Tech Nomad, right?
Tech Nomad, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm going to save it there, and I am going to call it. I'm going to call it logo.png. Logos are. I'm just going to call it logo.png. So if you go to my code here, you see that there's a new file here called logo.png. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Because I save it in that folder. It's here. Can you see that as well?
Yep.
Good. Any question? All right. So where we bring it before the H4, right? And then
So, right.
yes, please.
So, in a case where you are designing a web for someone and you don't have the company logo,
You have to
that
send.
you yourself have to design the logo for the person.
No, you are not a designer. You are not a designer. So they need to give you the logo design. Are you with me? A web developer
Okay.
is not a designer. He's a web engineer. He just engineers the system. Are you with me?
Okay.
So they have to give you the logo. Actually, they have to give you the color code of see this color. They need to give you the code of the color as well. Are you with me? So that you can use exactly that color. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So the designer will give you those things that you need. So today we are assuming that the Google logo is the one here. Are you all with me?
All right.
Good. So we put it here. You know the image tag is called what? IMG, right?
Yeah.
It's also self-closing. Agreed?
All right.
And we give what? What do we do? We give it the what? The source, right? And what is the source? This is the source. Are you with me? Or any questions so far? And then
No, bro, I think that
Can you
help
please
me
zoom
go.
your screen more?
you can see.
What?
Hey, can you see now? Can you see now?
Yeah.
Somebody was
Hello.
asking. Yes, please. Mhm.
Bro, please, can you take that again? I went off a bit. How
You
you
want
got the logo and you inputted it?
you have downloaded an image, right? You have seen it. We save it here, right? The image is here, right? But adding the image here does not mean to automatically appear on your website. Okay, let's save this. Okay, let's go to our website. Let's refresh. Can we see the image here? No, because we have not added it. Sometimes some people think that program is automatic. It's not magic. It will do what you have asked it to do. Okay. So now we have added the image here, but we have not told it where the image should show. Okay. So want to add an image. We use an image tag, and we all remember the image tag is what? IMG tag, right? So we add it.
Yeah.
It's self-closing, so we just need to do this. It closes itself. So it's also like the BR. Are you with me? And then how do we add the image? It's called a source, SRC, right? Remember, don't forget. And then you tell it the image you want to add, which is called logo what? PNG. Look at the name here. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Good. Now if I go and refresh my site, can you see it? What's the problem right now?
The size. You're taking all the screen.
Exactly. Exactly. Very, very big. So what will we introduce here? We call them what? Attributes. You know, you have learned attributes, right? So we can control what? The height. All right. Are you with me? You can play with the height and then what? The width. I'll change this and I'll go back and I refresh it. Are we good? At least fairly, right? Are you with You are with me or you are the loss? Right. So we have an image, right? We gave it a height of what? 50 and a width. Don't ask me how I know this value. I just guess this value should be good. But even right now, I'm realizing that the width is too small. So I'll increase this what? 150. You can play around with the numbers and see what looks good for you. Okay, then you stick with it. Are you with me? So this is better. Okay. Can you see? It's better. Any questions so far?
No.
So we are assuming that this logo here is the Google logo. Are you with me? And so we are assuming that image is the Google logo. Any questions so far? Remember, HTML is just giving you the structure. The styling will be done by what? CSS, which you will start from Tuesday. Does that make sense?
All right.
Yeah, good. So now we are just adding the structure. Now this error here, it is because who remembers the alt tag in an image? What does the alt tag do?
It gives the description of the image.
Very good. And how does it help?
It helps the blind to know if
Exactly.
the network is fully. It doesn't.
Very, very good. Very, very good. So you add the alt because if a blind man or visually impaired is looking at your website, they cannot see the image. So you need to tell it what the image is so that they can use their screen reader to read what exactly it is. So I'm calling it company logo. So to the visually impaired, what they'll hear is what? Company logo, right? Bingo. Any question? Everybody with me? All right, cool. Small, yeah. Our website will take shape. Okay, cool. Now we have this. Look at the other things at the right. Can you see the things at the right side of the web page? There are some navigations at the right side. Can you see these things? Services, locations,
We can see
technology.
your code, not the website.
Is that
We can see your code, not the website.
okay?
So let's see the screen. Your screen, only the code is showing.
Yeah, I'm sure there's. Let me reshare again. Just like it.
For the football lovers here, Spain has scored 2-1. Bye bye.
2-1. It looks like Spain will win this at all costs. Too. All right, cool. So you can have my screen now, right? You can see the page.
You can see your code.
Mark starts to do priority security things there. They can get annoying sometimes. Let me know when you have all my screens.
Okay, it's better now.
All right, cool. So
And
you
before
can
you proceed, the one loop logistics is after the, and I think there is a breaking tag before we
for okay, yeah. So we need to do that too as well, right? Does everybody agree to that, right? If you see the logistics after the international starts with another line.
Yes.
So we need to put a breaking tag
Even
here.
the specialist.
Exactly. Are you all with me? So let's go and fix that.
Even the one loop is coming with a yellow color.
Yeah, so we need to start that. Yeah, but I'll leave that styling for when you start the Tuesday class. That you can perfect that. So what? Yeah. So let's do the main things, which is what. So we have put a BR tag there, and we also put another one in before what the specialist, so that it can all come to what next line. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Good. Yeah. So if I go to my code and I refresh now, I can have all of them looking the way it's supposed to be. All right, good. Okay. So I've added those BRs and then add the various positions. So yeah, good job. So that's it. Anytime you need to break any line, you add those things and then you achieve your break. So now what next? The services and the location and the technology, those things, we need to put them there, right? What will be the right tag we should use? Anyone?
A list tag.
The list tag, very good. The list tag, very good. Any of the list, I'll prefer. I mean, you can do ordered. You can use an ordered. Yeah, that's fine. Does that make sense? Do we all get it? Do we all agree to that? We use a list tag to arrange all these things, right? Good.
Yeah.
Good. Please, do you have my code?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So he says the list tag. So the list tag is what? Li, right? But we'll start with what? The list arrangement. So which is what? A UL, an ordered, right? An ordered list. Don't forget your class. And then we'll put the LIs inside. You all agree with me, right? You all agree the approach I'm going?
Please explain why order list came before the thing.
So anytime you can use the LI directly, anyone with any explanation, but you cannot use the LI directly. It has to be inside either an OL or a UL. Do you agree to that, right? So before
so the UL is the wrap that contains the LI.
Very good. Very
I
good.
don't know if I'm making sense.
You are making perfect sense. You have sense plenty. Services and location.
So can we also call it a class or something?
Well, okay. Until if you want to use class, you have to wait for CSS. But here, once you're in HTML, you have to stay with tags. You have to find a way to describe it with tags rather than the class.
Okay.
So we have, so now put all the things inside, right? Locations. And by the I'll just do locations. And then we have technology, office, and statistics. Technology. Office. And then the last thing is contact. Good. Do we agree with this? Do we agree or someone is disagreeing? We good? Yeah. Yep. Anyone with any question? Okay. Now, if we go and look at this our document, you see that it display. I don't know if you have my screen. If you have, do you have my screen? My website that we are building.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Makes sense, right? Makes sense what we have right now. Right. Cool. Now there's another job we need to do, but we'll enter that job when you start CSS, which is Tuesday. That is, you have to style this properly. If you look at the web page, there's no dot against it and it's shifted to the right side. Are you with me? You do that when you start your class.
I wanted to ask.
Yes. So you do that when you start your class tomorrow. You build incrementally. So we add them, and then your styling will help you make the dots disappear, and then to move this to the right side. Are you with me? Good.
Okay.
So we'll come back next week Sunday. We'll continue this page you are seeing. After you have acquired knowledge in CSS, we'll come and decorate it. Are you with me?
All right.
Now there's a line under this one. Can we all see it?
Yes.
Okay. Who can tell us how we achieve that line? Several ways to do it though, but let's go for the basic way.
You can use the rule line, the HR line.
Very good. There's a tag called HR. So I'll bring it after all these things, right? It's called HR. It's also a self-closing tag. It's called HR. This is it. HR. Now I've started writing a bit of code. So let me start commenting so that I don't forget myself. So I write here, this gives a horizontal, it's actually called horizontal rule. Which mean, and you understand this will not run as a code, right? It's a comment.
Yes.
So far, you know that it's a comment. Very good. So if I go back, I refresh, can you see the horizontal line? Come on, any question?
I'm now getting ahead with.
We are what?
I'm now getting ahead with.
Very good, very good. I mean, that's the aim of this class, right? So that you can put everything in perspective. That's the aim of the class. You are learning a lot of things, but it all needs to make sense. It needs to come to perspective. That's why I'm organizing this session. I have not been, though you have been in different class, but at the end of the day, all these things should come together. That's the reason. Make sense? Good. All right, cool. So far, we've written pretty solid number code already. So this is what we have. We have the image, which is the top. We have the UL, which is supposed to be those items there. We have the HR, which is that horizontal line, and we have this thing there. Now, so we have at least we have the top section here, just that we have not designed it. And also those who are mentioning on the image and all those things. Now, a quick one, please pay attention. All right. Are you with me? The best way, okay, to add an image at the background of something is using CSS, not HTML. Does that make sense? You can do it HTML, but the better way is to design this box and say that its background is the image you are seeing there. I hope that makes sense.
Please
So
again, I didn't hear that.
So you see the background image that all these things are on right now, okay? It's a part of the styling. So it makes sense that when we study CSS, we add the image using the background, okay? So it will be a style rather than an element. So we add it using a style rather than using an attribute or using a tag. Does that make sense? So the image you are seeing at the background will be a style that will apply to the whole website. I hope that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Now, the next step. On a normal day, you see that on a good website, these things will be something that you can click. Are you with me? The services, the location, and the technology should be something that you can click. Does that make sense, right? And when you click it, it will take you to another page. Now, how do you make something in a way that is clickable, or how do you hyperlink something? Who can give us what we should use? What tag should we use?
You use the A tag.
Anchor tag. Very good, very good. Are we on the same page? We use what? The anchor tag. Anytime you need something to be clickable, to be hyperlinked, we use what we call what? The A tag. Does that make sense? You are understand or you are confused? All right. So, Vincent, are you here or you are confused?
I'm here.
You are following, right?
Yes, please.
I need to follow so that you can evangelize in your area for me. That's why I'm taking my time with everyone. You are ambassadors
Yeah, I'm
of
following.
Yeah, so that you can organize classes in your area and teach a lot of people.
Yeah. Thank
All
God,
right,
sir.
very good. Good. So, Mr. Sashi, you want to say something?
I'll follow you.
Or you want to update us on the score? That's also fine.
No. I'm not even watching the ball.
I'm telling you. All
So
right,
I think that which all of us will get there is when we're able to get our hands and understand what the meaning of each tag is. I think that's only going to be the challenge. But I think that
yes. But it also comes with a lot of practice. Once you are practicing, you get through.
It just take okay.
Don't worry to memorize it. If you build like 1 or 2 websites, it will just see these things, they just come to me. I don't have to memorize anything. So
Okay.
Believe in that.
oh yeah, practice, trust me, honestly. Try building like 2, 3 websites. Nobody will even you will just remember. It's like subconscious to you.
Okay.
Go. So now it means that we need to wrap. So the services, we need to put it inside the A tag, right? So instead of just having the services here like this word services, what will I do? I will put the A tag inside, okay? Stay with me. And then I'll do this, and I'll now put the services inside. That. Do you get that? Is anyone confused here, or let me
Please,
make it?
we are not watching your screen.
Okay, cool. Let me reshare my screen again and see.
Oh, your screen was showing now.
Let me reshare again.
It was showing. I don't know why people are not getting it.
Okay, do you have it now?
Yes, it's loading.
Yes.
Yeah, it's now in.
Okay, so you see what I'm doing here. I want each of these items to be clickable. So I'll put the LI inside the LI. I'll add what? An anchor tag, because somebody said we should use the A tag. Are you with me?
Okay.
So inside each of them, I'll have my A tag, because I want people to be able to what? Click on it. Make sense?
Right.
Stay with me. Stay with me. Good.
Yeah.
Why? Nothing has changed at this moment. Now, which attribute do we give to the A tag so that it knows where to go to when we click on it? Anyone help us with that?
Href.
Href. Thank you. Href. So the A tag must have what? Href. Very good. And the link there is where you want it to go to. Are you with me? Good. Good. Href is the attribute you give to the A tag so that it can go where you need it to go. Then go. So now we just need to specify where we want it to go at any point in time. Does that make sense? Any question? Right.
Please, what are the href means? Because we've not got into that place.
It's a hyperlink reference. Hyperlink reference. So where do you want the page to go to? So if the person, so let's go back here. You see, before I refresh this page, can you see my website I'm designing? Can you see that before I do what I want to do?
Yes, please.
You see that when I put my cursor here, it's showing like it's not showing that something I can click, right? But
Yeah,
if I refresh right
it,
now, you see that it has changed.
Okay. Yeah.
This is because of the anchor and the href.
Okay. So let me ask.
Yes, please.
What if, let's say, someone wanted to click on contacts and find something in there? How is it
Very
done?
good. Very good. That's how we are coming to right now. Step. Your Honor, your horse is run faster. Take your time. All right, cool. So very good with the question you asked, right? We want the person to go to a separate page when the person clicks on the contact. Are you all with me? So, and even the services, we want the person to go to different page when those things are clicked. Are you with me? So we'll build another page and call it what? Services.html, which will contain all the things that have to do with what? Services. Are you with me? Please, are you with me?
Yes, yeah.
When the person click on services, we want them to go somewhere. So we'll build a new page called services.html. So inside my folder, I'll click another file and I'll call it services.html. So this is where your website starts becoming what? Bigger. Okay. So I have a page called services.html. Then if you go, we need another one for what? Location. Are you with me? So I'll add another page called what? Locations.html. We need another one called technology. So I'll create another page called technology. That's because I want each of these pages to be different. HTML. I need another one for office and contact. So I'll do another one for office.html. And then finally, I'll do another one for contacts.html. Any question as it stands now. So you see the number of pages I have created. A website is a list of interconnected web pages. Does that make sense now?
Hello.
Yes, please.
Please, I about inserting the A tag and the href. I didn't really get it. You highlighted and then I don't know how you got it. Please, if you
No,
can take it.
I added a tag like anybody will add a tag. No need to highlight anything. So if I am on my index, this is I just added another tag and I moved the text inside that tag. That's all. I didn't have to do anything. You added your A tag and then you remember first what you had was you had this first. This is what you had first, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I just remove it. I didn't however works for you. I just remove it and I added my A tag and I brought it back. So whatever works for you,
Okay.
yes, whatever works for you, you go for it.
Oh, okay.
So my
Thank you.
my href will point here to what? Services.html. Does that make sense, please?
Yes.
Here will be locations.html, the different files I have added. This one will be what? Technology.html. This will be what? Office.html. This will be what? I have not built any for statistics, so go back to that. This will be your contact.html. Does anyone have any question as it stands right now? Which means that if you click on services, it will take you to what? Services.html. If you click on location, to take you to what? Location.html. If you click on technology, take you to what? Technology.html. Office.html. Then let me add the last one. And the last one is what? Statistics. This word is very confusing. So in my index, I have what? Statistics.html. Any question so far? You see, your code is growing. So if you don't master it, you'll be in trouble. I trust no one is lost. All right. All right, good. All right, seniors, we have everyone here. Good. Now, good. What this means is that if we click, so if I click here, I go to another page. Have you seen that? If I click, it will take me to another page. You look at your address bar. If I click, do you see where in my address bar here, I go to what? Technology.html. If I click here, I'll go to what? Office.html. Nothing is on that page. If I click statistics, I'll go to statistics.html. If I click contact, I'll go to contact.html. Bingo. If you have a question, you just unmute yourself and ask. No need to
Please, your
stress.
screen is not showing too.
Yeah, sure. But
I
what
can't view your
can you see
screen.
right now?
Hello?
What can you see right now?
You can see your working area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can. I think this is messing up. All right. So this is my website I've been building so far.
Your website is not showing.
I'm coming.
Okay.
It's showing now.
Do you have my space right now? My working area.
Yeah.
Yes, your VS
You have
code
my
is showing.
website now.
We have the
Yes,
website
please.
now.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is messing up. I switch to my data. It's better.
Okay.
Okay. So if I click
That's
on
true.
any of yes,
Wow.
if I click on any of these sites,
Please
see my
tell me.
address bar. See that it has changed to services.html. If I click on services, see here it's become services.html. Okay. If I click on location, it becomes location.html. All right. So you have linked all of them to different pages. That's how we do it. Right. So all these things are linked to their respective pages. Any question?
Yeah, right.
Yes, please.
After downloading the Google image, you place it in a folder called image. How did you do it before it appeared on your
No, no,
your
no. I
web?
didn't place it in a folder called image. Watch my code again. I did not put it in a folder yet. Right. I just put it in my working area. Are you with me?
Okay.
If you put it in a folder, then it means that you have to name the path absolutely. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do what you are doing. Let me say I created a folder here. Okay. Inside here called images. Okay.
Okay.
And then I move this image here inside that folder. Okay.
Okay.
All of a sudden, if I go here, see that I can't see it anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what is showing on my screen now.
Oh yeah, you have to change the path. It has to now be in images / that direction. This is what you need to do. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It has to trace the direction of the image. I've kept it in a folder called images. So it needs to start from images and then to the name of that. Yes. Sometimes you do that. If you have a lot of images, it makes sense to put all of them in one folder. Does that make sense for everyone?
Right.
So now if I refresh, can you see it now? Back. Any question? Yes, sir.
Please, can you go over how to use the href?
All right.
Cool. The A and the href
Yeah.
here.
Okay. Initially, this is what we had. Okay. You get it. Initially, this is what we had. It was one line. I clean it up so that you can see it properly. Initially, this is what you have. You all agree, right? This line 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
And then I said that we need an anchor. Somebody suggested that if we want to make this something somebody should click, we should put it in an anchor tag. Okay. So I just remove this one first, the word first. Okay. And then I put in the anchor tag, the A tag. Okay. And then I'll put the text inside. Are you with me?
Yeah.
This is the same as this. Don't be lost. This is the same as this. No problem. HTML does not consider spaces. Okay. HTML does not mind spaces, so you can do this. Now, after doing this, we said that we needed an href to link it, right? So I added the href. This is it. Okay. And then I now went to create a file because I want, if the person clicks services, I want them to go to a new page called services.html. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to create a new file called services.html. Are you with me? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But right now I'm not doing anything there. So don't get lost at it. Right now I'm not doing anything there at all. It's just a plain page, nothing. We'll come back and write code there as well when we need to. Okay.
Okay.
So then I now point the href to that file, which is what? Services.what? HTML. Are you with me? Good.
Yes.
Same thing repeated for the rest of them. No different.
Okay.
With this skill you have right now, you can build a website, except that you cannot style it right now. But don't go and take money from somebody and say you build them their website. Please relax, take your time. I've taught some boy before after the first class, no, he has gone to take money that he's going to do some work for somebody, and then he goes, no, please take your time. If you go and take some money, please make sure Fred is aware, so that if you get stuck, he can help you. Alright.
Hey, Master, who is that taking projects ahead of time?
If you take project, please let Fred know. Share the money with him, so that in case you are in trouble, he can come to your rescue.
Why, okay.
Fred, stand by.
Yeah.
Which of my students is the project, no?
Fred, stand by.
Kelly, they go take Navy people them one side they one bird give them. I say,
hey, my guy. Monarchy, you not tell about Owasika.
I'm telling you, you go take I say you go do give them simple 1,000 Ghana. You go see
you don't tell about Owasika.
Boy, if you not do a bit, things go get your
I
destiny.
am telling you. You go. All right, cool.
And now we stop the chop Owasika.
So in terms of structure, we are almost through. It's just that when you start your class Tuesday and Thursday, they will teach you CSS. So we'll come back. When I come back Sunday again, I will teach you how to style it to look exactly like this. Okay. But now we are done with the top part. Okay. The next part is what? The down here. Are you with me? Who can tell us how we should approach this down part?
Right. In my mind, I think it's still CSS.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Yes, but you have to the structure. You have to
We
put the
can still
structure
list them.
Is that
Let's do ordered list.
okay?
We should try ordered list and see.
Okay. Anybody again? But I mean the top here, at least for our services and things, we'll do some. We can do this one, maybe H1, this H4 before we come to these things, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody?
The H tag, yes, please.
Of course, you can approach this with ordered list as well and style it later. Yeah, that's also a good deal. So there are several ways to kill this thing here. Any other person looking at it differently? Let me call somebody since the person refused to talk. Let me see. Mr. Vincent, if you are supposed to solve that problem, how will you solve it? This is a mathematical equation before you. How will you address it?
I won't lie, I have no idea for now.
Anybody with any suggestion? Oh, there is easy crowd. Easy you. Okay. So,
but Mr. Wright, don't you think you should take us through how to put in the documents in the services, the contacts, and the offices? If created a file and then
yeah, but there's no content here to display there now. So I mean, at the end of the day, whatever will be on that page, it will still be. If you are able to design these things, then you can design anything on any other page. I think the most important thing for me is that you can create a page that you can go there and you can click to go there, because you can actually repeat what is everything here on that page as well. So it shouldn't be a problem if you ask me. Once you can figure out how to do these things, you should be fine. If I do this, whether I approach this as an ordered list or any type of list, the most important thing that will happen here is that each of these boxes has a design. Okay, there's a box here first, there's an image in the box, and there's a text in the box. Do you get that? there's a each of these box is like there's an image. This is an image. Are you with me? And this is a text. You're overthinking. This is an image and this is what? A text. That's all. Those two things in a box. Just that this particular box has another image at the side here. Does that make sense? But each of these boxes is an image here. This is an image. This thing you are seeing like a wave is an image. There's no, it's not rockets. It's an image. Are you with me? And there's a text at the bottom. Make sense?
So are you saying that we can just put an image and give the description? Is that correct?
No, you have the image at the top, and under it you have a text, not a description. A text at the bottom, like an H4 at the bottom. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes. That's all. That's all.
So it's just an image and a description. When you
Yeah,
click on it,
yeah,
that's
yeah, exactly. So the CSS is what to give it the color. That's all. You know, that's all. The structure is just an image and a text at the bottom. Make sense?
Does it mean when you click on it, there's nothing that's going to pop up?
Well, if you want to make it, click on it, then put it in an anchor tag. That's all.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to allow the person click on it, then it means it needs to be inside what? An anchor and a tag, right? So that the person can click on it. Does that make sense?
All right.
But the structure remains the structure. That's all. You guys are overthinking. All right, cool. Let's start with that. So, and you realize that they are the same. Are you with me? So it's a repetition. Make sense? Just that the images are different. Does that make sense? Good. Let's get back to this. We'll start with our services and diversified services for your convenience. For your convenience. How is that? Okay. So we'll come down here again. Let's say, I don't know how big that should be, but you can decide that you can play around. Then the first one is our service. If you don't agree with something quickly, but remember there are several ways to do a particular thing. I'll just do this one, H4. If you disagree, no problem. The diversified services for your convenience. For your convenience. Let me just go with what they are saying. I don't agree with them though. Right. Cool. So this takes care of the top side here. These two guys at the top. Then we are coming to this guys at the bottom here. That makes sense? All right. I just need one of the boxes, this one done, and then we are good to go. That makes sense? Can go. And I said that one of the box contains an image at the top and then a text. But since this is your new, let me start showing you how to get such images. There's a site called flaticons.com. It's called flaticons.com. It allows you to find these flat images. So I'll say wave, it looks like a wave. The first one looks like a wave. So I'll just search for a wave when I get here. So you see, I have something close. So let's just use this. It's not exactly as it is, but I'll use this, okay? That makes sense? Are you with me? Anytime you need to search for these kinds of images, come to flaticon.com. I'll share it in the chat. Are you with me? So yeah, I'll share the link. It's called flaticon.com. You can always use it to find images if you need to. Good. Yeah, you can always use it anytime. All right. So I have there, I'll download this wave one. I'll just click on it and I'll download the PNG. Okay, I'll download it for free because I don't want to spend money on this. All right, so it's automatically go and enter my downloads. Okay. Now this is it's inside my download. That's why I agree with us moving. So this is it. Look at it. This is the image. It's called water wave. So I'll copy it. And we have created a folder for what? Images, right? So I'll put it in that folder. I hope you are with me. So this is images folder. I'll paste it there. and I'll call it, I want to name it properly so that I can call it water underscore wave. I prefer underscores. So I call it water wave this way, okay? And of course, then when I come here, for the first one, or do that for the first one. So I'll make the first one a box, right? And then you can use the CSS to style it later, however you want to style it. So no problem. So I just make it some container that people can put things inside for the later. So I just make it, we'll use CSS to style it later. So you have learned something we call div. I'll put it in a div. I hope you have learned something called div. If you haven't, I can mention that. Have you heard of that tag?
Please mention it.
No.
Right, please
No.
throw light on it. Throw light on it.
All right. Okay. Anytime you need a container to put things inside, the easy way about it is what you call a div. Now, but the divs are funny. They behave in a unique way. Now, in HTML, there are two main types of elements. There's what you call block element and inline element. Okay. Now, a block element means that when you put the thing on the screen, it's going to occupy the whole screen width. I come again. A block element means that immediately you put it on the screen, it's going to occupy the whole length of the screen. But an inline element means that it will not occupy the whole length of the screen, but it will only occupy what its content can take. So I'll show you a typical example. So on this website here, can you see my website?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm going to do inspect element so I can see the code running behind it. If you pay attention to my website, you see that I'm clicking on the one loop logistics and international freight forwarding specialist, right? Do you see that is inside an H1? Okay. Do you see that it starts from the left all the way to the right, even though the text doesn't cover the whole screen? So an H1 is a block element. Now go to the image. Do you see? Have you seen that the image only starts from where it starts from and then where the image ends? It doesn't cover the whole screen. Now, if you don't understand this, you struggle with how things are arranged on the screen. So an image is an inline element, but an H1 is a block element. Look at the since 2017. Can you see that? Can you see that this covers the whole screen from the left to the right?
Yeah.
So it's a block element. It will occupy the whole width. See, wherever it starts from, it will make sure that it extends from the starting to the end of your screen. If you don't understand this, you struggle when you are doing CSS. But look at the UL element. Have you seen them? Do you see that they are only as long as they are? So this kind of element is called inline. This image is inline. The LI elements are all what? Inline. Are you with me? But the UL itself is what? Block. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Image is inline. UL is what?
It's
block. But the LI itself again is also what?
It's also block.
Block. It's also block. But the A is what? Inline, exactly.
I'm a bit confused.
All right, what's confusing? Yes.
Yeah,
the block
the
and the
service.
inline.
Yeah.
Who can explain? Who has understood it properly and wants to throw some light on it? Maybe in a better explanation. Abigail, you seem to understand it and explain to them.
No, if I understand per the explanation or per simple, we'll say that the block covers the whole screen. So, for example,
Very
when you
good.
click on an item that is blocked, let's say the contact, you realize that it extends from your left to your
The
right.
right, exactly.
Like it extends, yeah, it takes the whole
The
space.
whole screen.
But Exactly.
Yeah.
Unlike the
Image, for instance.
the image, let's say Google, it
Yes.
just takes the distance of its item or its content.
Very good. Does that make sense to you now? What that means is that for the image, you can put something to the right of the image. Are you with me? You can put something on the right of the image, but you cannot put anything on the right of the one loop logistics. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it will occupy the remaining screen, whether there's space or not. See, even if I increase my screen and we still check this, you see that it's the space it occupies is all to the end of the right side. Though the text is ending here, but it keeps going, it extends all the way to this end, even though the forwarding just ends here. But look at the image, it doesn't go that far. Image doesn't go that far, it ends here.
So that was
that
why
makes
the one loop logistics went all the way until we had to put in the break.
Until we break it, exactly. Until we break it, it went all the way because it's the element, the tag occupies the whole screen. So block and inline. Please get this. If not, if you start CSS, you are styling something, it will be behaving some way, and you will not be getting it. So you see that you give a background image to the H1, okay, and realize that the color you have given, the color has come all the way to the right side. Are you with me? But then the text just ends here. So you are wondering, why is it that the color doesn't end here, but it goes all the way to the right? It is because it's a block element. Chief, you see the move or you don't see the move? Let me see if I
You see the move.
You see the move? Let me show you something briefly here. Then you see. Who can see what's happening right now? Can you see that the color is stretching the whole screen? Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
But the text doesn't go to the end. Though. So though the content does not go that far, because it's a block element, the element itself will cover the whole screen. Does that make sense? Now let me try this on the image you have. You have this image, and I have a background image, background color red. Where do you see the image? Do you see where the color of the image has gotten to?
Yeah.
You see that it hasn't come all the way to the right because image is not a block element. Does that make sense? All right. Good. Any question? At least so there are two main types of HTML elements. So okay, these are temporal codes I've written, so it's not part of the code. Once I refresh it to go. So you see that we have written some few more lines of code. We say what our services and what, and then the diversified this thing. So they are all down here, and they are H1, so they are block elements. You see that they have occupied the whole width of the thing. So they are going to span from the left all the way, but it looks like this one are too big, so we'll come and reduce them later. But what I want to mention to you is that a div is a block element. Okay, so anytime you need a container to hold something, you can put it in a div. So for instance, the reason why I'm doing this is that if you look at our design here, we have ocean freight and the image as what in one box. Are you getting it? So I need to put both of them in one box so that if you need to give the color, you can give both of them the same color. Are you with me? So if you need to like make a container so that you can put things inside and apply some thing on all of them, then you need to group them together. And the easiest way to do that is to use what we call a div. So I'm doing a div here, and then inside the div, let me reduce this from H1 to H2 so that it's not too big. It looks too big right now. So right now inside this div, what I'll do is that I'll add an image. We are almost wrapping up. It should be the last one. Then we'll continue the next time. And then I'll add a source. And then I would have images / water wave, which is this. Of course, we have to add the alt. And I'll call it wave icon. And then the next thing I'll have is, let me say that is just some H4. And then this one will make it ocean freight for now. So the first box is this. You go back, let's just see the result before you can continue. So you see, this is the first box. But what is happening? The image is too big. The image is too big. So let's make sure we reduce this image height. It's too big. I mean, yeah. This image is too big, so reduce the height a bit. And let's just say we can make the height of this image. Let me just stay with 100, and then I'll make the width as well 100 for now. We just play around with it and see what works. So yes, so this is what we have right now. And then again, if you go to the concept of div, you see that the whole div has extended from the whole of it has covered the whole screen, because that's how divs are. And the reason why I add this is that the reason why I mention this is that if we make the first one which is ocean freight, and the second one is what? Air freight. We'll come back to that, right? So let's say we add the second one, also a div, and then this one is what? Air freight. Of course, we have to go and download another image, but let me assume it's the same image. What I want to mention to you here is that when I refresh my page, you would expect that the other one should come to the right of this, but it's also gone down. And the reason is that the first one is a block element, the second one is also a block element. So even though there's space here to not come there, it will go down. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yes, that's why you see, that's why I needed to explain that. You see that this guy, because it's a block element, you see that in your eyes, you are seeing that there's space here. So the question is, why doesn't the air freight come to the right? Why is it going down? But because in actual sense, it's a block element, so it's occupying it directly. So let's show that here. Let's say this is background. Let me just add some visibility on that for you. Background color. This is blue. And then on the second,
use the way a bricklayer will lay brick to explain that the div concept to them.
You are also explain that thing. They ask me, make I explain. Explain the thing, Sha. So you see that though the way your eye is seeing it, it looks like the content is not covering the whole screen, but in actual sense it is. I hope you are with me and you get that concept now. Make sense? All right, but when we come to CSS, when we come to the styling, we'll be able to stop that behavior of the div, so that it behaves in a way we expect it to be. Of course, there's a hack around it, but I'll show you that hack as we are proceeding and we are moving on. So, I mean, in natural sense, generally, this is what I'll do, and then I'll use the style to style them together. So that's literally it. It's just some image at the top and there's some this thing at the down. If I look at it again, I'll reduce the image a bit further. Let me say 50 and then 50, because if I see my design is a bit too big. So when we are done, when we get one correct, we just make the change for the rest of them. Yeah, so something like that, if you can see it. Any question, at least on this structure, revised of where we should all be and understanding the tags and how they work. The next time, which is next week, we'll now apply the CSS that you have learned from your various classes and clean up the page to look much more closer to this than the rest of the things. Yeah. Any question?
Yeah, right.
Yes, please.
Please, do you have brother Mauli's the platform, the WhatsApp platform?
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
We can't with me. I wanted to ask him something. So
please.
I'm not brother Maulio. I told you I'm not brother Maulio.
Okay, right, sure.
He's a formerly.
Yeah, formally
You
or
don't want,
ID
you
like
don't
big
want,
thing.
you don't want to chat people. They call you brother. You don't like brother.
Right now, no, they go brothers on you.
I am telling you, some girl be start they call you brother now. He'll eliminate you with that. Oh. Don't take
Only
it.
your ID, please, so I can DM you.
All right. Any question will come. Right. Good. Okay. Cool. We'll come style this beautifully to shock you that we'll style this and we'll be close to looking this way when we come. Trust me, it's just a process. And if you like, you have access to this image. You have access to this page. Actually, I've shared it on several spaces. I'll share it again. If you like, you can challenge yourself and see how you can get close to acquiring that image if you want to. All right, you can take a look at it, start creating. If you're not getting the styling right, that is fine. Just focus on the structure. Just get the structure right. The CSS will come, and then we'll show you how to acquire some of these interesting design concepts as we go on. All right. Courtney says that some people are still struggling with the classroom. Courtney, if you are there, you can throw some light on it quickly, and then for the next 5 minutes.
Right, please let me see your code screen here.
Okay, sure. Okay. So I created one div. We'll style it when we come. For the ocean. And then this is the second one. You know, you learn Git as well, right? In your next module. So when you get there, you start pushing code to GitHub, not here. All right. Courtney, if you are there, you can touch base on it quickly and I'll be gone. Oh, okay. All right. All right. I mean, Courtney is not here. We'll find another time to do that. If you have any special problem, you want me to take a look at it for you, you can stay on. We are done officially. You can share your screen, and if you want me to take a look at something for you and help you with something, please just draw my attention in the next 5 minutes and share your screen or take a look at it and make my suggestions and give you my recommendation. All right. Godwin, you want to share and that's something?
Okay.
Yes,
I
I
think
can hear you.
I'm still struggling. Can you hear me? Yes, I think I'm still struggling with the with the A tab. I'm not been able to display the list on my code. So I wanted to see for me where maybe I made a mistake or something.
Fred, who is winning the match?
Oh, match will end long time. Spain winning.
Okay. I think they deserve.
So I was trying to play the first one.
So you see, yeah. So the first one is okay. The problem is, so you see your line 12. Let's start from your line 12. After the href, you bring an equal to.
Okay.
Be also careful how you delete tags. If not, you'll be in trouble. Yes. After the href, inside the tag, go one step left. Yeah. Bring a quotation mark. Yes. So that one should be services. Point to services. Yes, good. All right, now let's come to the line 15. After
But actually, there's still problem on the line 12. There's still problem on the line
Nice.
12. Look at the closing tag, the closing 8 tag.
There are 2 A tags
There are
there.
2 closing 8
Remove one of them. Remove this
Yeah.
one. Yes. 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 So line 15 repeats the same thing here. Equal to there's a quotation, and then there should be after that. This one points to location, and then there should be a greater than sign there. Then yes, good. Yes, exactly. Then bring the at the end of the location on the line 15 at the end of the location. See, the VS code is very powerful. So long as there's something not highlighted well, it means there's a problem. Yes, this is yes. So if I were you, I won't stress myself. I'll copy line 15 and come and paste it on line 18 and change the things.
Okay.
So I'll copy the whole of line 15 and come and replace it with line 18 and then type technology inside. Because that one is working. So I'll change the text to technology and change the link to also technology. Once there's something working, you can carry it over. That's the best approach. And then the link will now be technology dots. Yes, exactly. Good. So you have copied already. You can just paste and then change this one to office. I have to do office. This one will be office, right? So the link will also be office. Good. This one will be easy statistics. Yeah. This word is confusing. I don't know who gave this name. That is yes. Cool. And last one will be contact. Yes. Then the link will be contacts. Good.
Okay.
Yes. This be all.
I think
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
what I was trying.
It's okay for today. Yeah. So that is
Is that
sometimes
going to get the recorded tutorials?
Oh, sure. Once we end this, it will be up and then you can go through it.
Okay.
Why? Anyone else struggling with something that we can help take a look at?
Hello.
Last one. How do we save automatically? Like I always come to the file and do save. If I control S, will it save for me?
Yes, to save control S to save it, yes. And also when you go to
Control S
file,
will save.
so you do save all. But I think there's a setting that saves automatically too. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'll check that.
I think mentioned it last time. I was looking for it, but I
Yeah.
didn't see it.
There's a way to do that.
Okay.
But I mean, my hand is
Thank you.
always on control S, so I really don't miss.
Okay, that's fine. I thought the controller will not work.
To vanish. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Frederica.
Yes.
Frederick.
Okay, please. I want you to help me. I think the latter part and the logo, I was not able to do those, but the rest I did it. And
Are you
then,
sure?
yeah, for the link that you shared with us, is it in our email? Because
No, it's in the chat.
I'm using my phone and then
No,
the laptop too.
you're using your phone and the laptop.
So I'm using the phone for the class and then the laptop for the VS Code.
I should
So
have just joined the call on your laptop. It's better rather. Or there is no.
sometimes the network, so I don't know the laptop. I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. You share your screen. Let's see if you can. But that means that you won't be able to share your screen with on the laptop. Right.
So I want you to, if you can forward the link to my email, then I'll open it from my laptop.
Okay. Sure. Your email. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, your email is on copy, right? Is the
Yes.
one you use for the class. Okay.
Yes, please.
Can you put on the WhatsApp page?
All right, cool. Does the WhatsApp also help if someone is as well, or down to is only on your phone?
Okay, let me see. I think I have checking. I have WhatsApp on the laptop. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, it's loading. The WhatsApp is loading, so I'll pick the link from there.
Yeah, sure. I've shared it on the app. All right. Anybody else with something you want us to look at? All right, cool. If there are nothing to worry about, I would my recording will be up.